This is the expert's guide to the direct selection tool, or more commonly called the white arrow. I hardly ever use the black arrow anymore because I almost exclusively use this white arrow because of the group selection tool it has. So if you hit A, it'll select the white arrow. You probably know you can click on a point and it'll select that individual point. But if you option click on it, it'll use the group selection tool. You can see that little plus sign in the bottom right of the arrow. If you click on a point, it'll select the whole object. So this comes in really handy if you have a lot of groups. So each of these color rings is its own group. So if I want to select this orange dot with the black arrow, I need to double click into isolation mode until I finally get to a group where I can select that individual dot. Same thing if I want to select this blue ring, double click until I finally am in a group where I can select just that group. With the white arrow, I can just, knowing that I have this ring grouped already as light blue circles, I can just select once to select the light blue circle. If I option click again without holding shift, then it selects the next group up. So same thing with this dark blue. If I just option double click, it expands that selection to that full group. So what it's doing again is first option click selects an object. The second option click selects the group that that object is in. If you have groups within groups, then it just becomes even more useful. So I'll select this group of very light orange circles. If I option click again, selects that whole row. If I option click one more time, it'll select this whole block of dots. What I love about it also is if I select one light orange, one light red, and one light blue, and then I option click on the light blue, it maintains my selection and just adds the group that that light blue circle is in. So it's a really good way to fine tune your selection and get exactly what you want without having to go into isolation mode a bunch of times. This works with compound paths also. So if I option click on just a circle, it'll select that circle. If I option click again, it'll select the entire compound path. So this is really useful so if I want to replace these squares, I can option click and hold shift and option to add each square to my selection there. So if I select those, I can delete them. Then I can take this circle, option click, drag, hold option to duplicate. So I can really quickly replace those squares with the circles. So alignment is also a huge thing for my workflow. If I want to align this square, I have this group of 4 dots. If I want to align it to these 4 dots, I can make those a key object and center. But if I want to align this X with just these blue dots, I can do that too. If I just option double click the dots I want to center to, make it a key object. Super easy, super quick. So I'm going to just show real quick some of the ways I would organize this illustration also with the direct select. So first I'm going to select these shadow objects, group, and then I'm going to select the hand, group that. So what I did is now I can option double click the shadow and I can make a quick color adjustment. And then if I option click again, it'll select the hand. Option double click the shadow, make an adjustment. If I want to move the whole hand, then I can option click on the palm, option click again, and then it'll select the whole group, which is the hand and the shadow. So it doesn't matter the order you go, it just goes one level up no matter where you start. So now I'm going to actually group the whole arm, everything but the background, go into isolation mode. I can select my magic wand I have to select by stroke color. So I'll select all these strokes and I'll group them together. And then I'm going to take the light strokes, group those together. So now if I want to select all of the strokes, then I option double click on one dark stroke and one light stroke. And now I have all of my strokes selected. I can adjust the width of the stroke if I want to make those a little skinnier. Super quick. I didn't have to enter isolation mode. And I could actually, if I want, I can group all of the strokes together. So now I just option double click to select the highlights, option click again, selects all the strokes. Maybe I even want to say take my hand and shadow group it with the strokes. I can select the hand shadow, group that also. And now if I want to select the whole hand and the shadow and move it together, I can option click palm, option click again, option click again, option click again, and now I have that whole group, and I can move it, I can rotate it, I can scale it. I know this can seem really complicated with so many levels of groups within each other, but once you understand the workflow and you get used to organizing your projects this way, I really think it'll save you a ton of time and you'll never go back to the black arrow. If you have any suggestions or questions, please leave it in the comments, and thanks for watching.